Hi everyone, it's Fiona here. I hope you're well. This is the week 8 video. There was another one that happened last week and that's been posted for last week. Please make sure you've watched that one and that you've done the tasks that I've set out in there, which really is just to choose the venue for your virtual field trip and start kind of mapping it out in terms of what information you'll cover. So at this point, I'm hoping that you'll be able to use this video. It will be a little bit more in depth to keep going forward in assignment task 2. So remember, it's creating a virtual field trip. It's a website that you create or it's a video. All right, so I'm just going to jump into it, and I've got my computer open here. I'm sort of reading and looking across from one to the other. Let's start with what you actually have to put into the one-page document, which you'll be submitting into Canvas on the 5th of June. Okay, so that one-page document, let's just go through it part by part. You need to put on the top, so put your name and put your the venue or the place that your virtual field trip is about. So it might be Sovereign Hill, or it might be the Royal Botanical Gardens, it might be the Great Barrier Reef, whatever it is. So put that at the top, and then you need to put your virtual field trip link. So it's a website link, and make sure it's active and it works. And so that's the virtual field trip link. All right, so underneath that, can you please then write the year level that it's for? So year 3 or year 6 or whichever year level in primary school that it's for. And I'm just reading off the planning and intention section here from the week 8 slides if you want to just review it. And then can you please put down the content descriptor or content descriptors, it's up to you whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, that it connects directly to. All right, so we've got a list of things happening here. So remember, if you're an individual, if you're working individually, you just choose either history or geography. You can't do both. But if you're a pair, you might do one person does history, one person geography, and you put it together. Okay, so that's because sometimes, such as the Royal Botanical Gardens, you might actually have some historical aspects as well as some geographical. But you don't have to do that either. A pair can just work with one of the learning areas, so just with history or just with geography. So make sure you put your content descriptor there. Then you need to write down your inquiry question. So you need to imagine that you're running a unit and that your virtual field trip is part of that particular unit that you're teaching in the classroom. So what is the key question for that inquiry unit? Then please put down some of the probably three of the 6 phases of the inquiry learning process. So tuning in, finding out, sorting out, etc., etc. So you choose 3 of the 6, whichever you think best suits, and just write down how your virtual field trip connects to that particular phase. And that only has to be a couple of sentences for that part. So it might connect to finding out because it's providing a lot of content information, and you can work that out from there. All right, so that's that. Please put a couple of learning goals in. So what are the children going to be learning? So 2 or 3 learning goals. Learning in terms of what are they learning from the virtual field trip. And then please write down, and this is still going on the piece of paper that you're going to be submitting into Canvas, and then you need to write down the key concepts. So it's historical concepts if you've got a history related one, or it might be the geography concepts, so specific concepts that it relates to. Don't just list all of them, make sure you really think about which ones it connects to. And place in geography might be a really key one, or change and continuity might be one if it's got a history focus. Okay, all right. Underneath that, we're still going on the one-page document. You then need to put a link to your to your actual speech, which is pre-recorded. So when you, and the speech, I'm calling it a speech just because that's kind of easier to distinguish it from the virtual field trip. So yes, you have a virtual field trip link at the top, but you also, further down the page, you'll have your speech link, and you can call it a speech or you can call it the pre-recorded presentation. And this is instead of presenting it in class time. So you literally, you present it to me via a pre-recorded audio recording or video recording. Please, it only needs to be about a 1 minute to 2 minutes long. And let's talk about that part now. Okay, so that's 2 links. And also, could you use Windows Media Player or something easy? I'm not a Mac user, so just being aware of the recording program that you choose, or you can put it on YouTube. That might make it really easy and accessible. All right, I'm just flipping to another screen. In your speech, remember that you have 10 points of your grade for this assignment. It's out of 50, 10 points, as we looked at in the week 8 PowerPoint. 10 points is actually the presentation itself, which is that speech. So make sure, hi, my name is Fiona and welcome to my virtual field trip. So really, this is what I did in my presentation. So really lively and imagining that you are literally there explaining it to the class. So the virtual, you might say the virtual field trip takes us to, and then you can explain the location. You might explain a little bit about that place and then walk me through your presentation. So you can talk about the home page and then talk about the about page or the resources page. Talk about the different pages a little bit. If it's a website, yes, state your inquiry question, but you don't need to repeat the concepts. You don't need to repeat because you'll already have that written down on your 1-page document. You don't need to repeat the content descriptor or anything like that. It's really just a walk through what you've created. And same with the video. So the video will need to be 3 or 4 minutes long. This is if you do a video for a virtual field trip. So 3 or 4 minutes long if you're an individual, or 5 or 6 minutes long if you're a pair. So talk about, like, the first minute of the video shows such and such, music is used in this part of the video, or there's a satellite map shown in that part of the video. So it's kind of walk us through it, give us an idea of what it's all about. Okay. And draw attention to, like, showcase what you've created in that speech. Really, hey, this is fantastic because. All right, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. A couple of reminders. This is a new topic. It's not the top, like, please don't use the same topic as you used in assignment task 1. But if you did do history as a learning area, you can still do history, but you would choose a different topic. Yeah, someone's asked if it's okay to use a PowerPoint, and my response is, look, we really have to find it has to be really engaging. So if you do use a PowerPoint, yes, you may use PowerPoint. However, put a video in there, put some exciting activities in there. Try and work with engagement, because a website's a lot more interactive, and a video it can be quite exciting. So try and really maximize what you can do with the PowerPoint. So think a PowerPoint's like a little bit of both of those things. Okay, if you worked in a pair, the speech that you make has to be individual, even though you worked in a pair. So there'll be different, everyone will have a different speech to each other, and it will be you presenting and talking. Also, please just choose one place. Don't make it a tour around to different places. Just choose one particular place. Even though it would be really fun to do like a tour around Australia, we need the depth of that one particular place. And also because it's a virtual field trip, we're focusing in on that specific area and really exploring it. Okay, just a reminder that you'll need to ask all of your questions up until the end of week 10. And then I'm not available. I'm only available by email if you have to ask for an extension. Other than that, I've set it up so that you can have all your questions answered with the resources that are in the learning materials in Canvas. And also I'm providing a drop-in session to support assignment task 2 in the evening next week, and I'll put an announcement up for that now. So anyway, have fun with this. Keep working on it. I need to see we'll work on it in week 9 next week together in class time. We'll just be talking about it more. But in week 10, I'll actually need to hear about your progress. So you need to be in the online class in week 10. And I need to hear a little bit about your ideas so far so I can tick that off and say, yes, they're on the right track. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care from my home office to yours. Bye. Stay safe.